What's up, everybody? Joseph Ritchie here from Tuba Mastery Online, and today I'm with one of our successful members, Samuel. And Samuel's going to talk with us a little bit about what he's done inside of our program to be able to take his playing to the next level. So, thanks for coming on, Samuel.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely excited to dive in and hear about your story and share it with others. So,
Yes.
let's start with introducing yourself and share with us a little bit about your tuba journey and the challenges that you were facing before you and I met.
Well, my name's Samuel Chicora, and I started playing tuba my sophomore year of high school. And I came from trumpet player. A lot of tuba players come from a different instrument. And I I played in the band, and I really took off playing tuba. And but I never had a private instructor, never had any guidance of how to play. They handed me the horn, handed me the music, and said, when the conductor counts off, play what's written on the sheet of music, and then I just take that music home, practice it. And I my senior year, I was first chair tuba player. We had probably um, 12 tuba players throughout. We had three different bands, and we had about 12 tuba players throughout. And I was top chair by my senior year, so just a short journey. And then I did all state band, auditioned for that, got first chair for the all state that year, and really enjoyed. And I was going to join the military, and I auditioned for the Marine Corps band, but I didn't have clear guidance on how to prepare for auditions and things like that. I did the all state. I had teachers tell me play that music because I already did so well. But instead, I decided to play my senior jury piece that I've worked on maybe a little bit, and I missed the audition by a fraction of a cent. But that didn't discourage me. I joined the military, put the tuba down for about 9 years, and then I picked it back up once I got out of the military. And I wanted to be a music education or music therapy major. Wasn't really sure which direction I was going. I just knew I wanted to play my instrument. And I did that. And I had, of course, the tuba euphonium instructor uh, guide me half an hour once or twice a week. And it was still take the music home, practice it, bring it, and perform it in the band. And it was there was no guidance of how to improve. Everyone told me I had a good sound, and but I was like hitting a plateau of my music playing. And then about 2 years into music school, college and stuff, I life happened, and I put it all down again. And my tuba started collecting dust in the back of back room. And I started a different career. And recently, this last year, um, towards the end, I was talking to my wife and saying, "Man, I really miss playing my instrument. I really miss playing tuba." And what I want to do is I talk to different people about tuba, and some are they know nothing about tuba, and they're like, "Oh, nobody's interested in that." And I understand their perspective. They're also non-music people, so they don't understand. They just understand what they hear on the radio and things like that. So um, there's that aspect. And then I talk to others that are musicians, and they're like, "Oh yeah, tuba is awesome. It's the foundation of the band. It's that." But I wanted to take my tuba playing to a different level. I like solo work. I like small ensemble work. I like really where the tuba is heard more than just a rolling bass line. And that's been my journey. My tuba was in bad condition. I sent it to the shop to get repaired, and then I came across you.
Awesome. Sweet. So you've been inside. the program about 60 days so far, about 2 months. The first month, your horn was out to the shop, so you weren't actually even playing during that time. And then you've been getting back into playing a lot more seriously over the last 30 days. Can you take a minute and just kind of share with us where your Tua playing is at now? Like how did you make that first month applicable and dive in and really prepare yourself for getting back into it? And then how would you say your playing has grown just over the last 30 days?
Well, I told myself, hey, I'm going to start this journey. I'm going to research. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put everything together and actually get back on the bicycle, actually start riding and start playing and start performing. But I didn't have any clear direction. Um, I just knew I have about 5, 6 different books to study from, and I didn't know where to start from there. I didn't know what to do, and so I started doing your group mastery online, and I asked questions because I didn't have a horn to play with. At the time, I was just like, well, I can still benefit by asking questions like, what should I do? I had a mouthpiece. Um, so why don't why don't I buzz? Why don't I look at some music and analyze the music? Why don't I just prepare mentally my mind for playing? And uh, the first little while, you you approached me and said, "Well, you don't have a horn, so you can do these things and really set yourself up so when you do get the horn in your lap, you're prepared to actually play, but play effectively and efficiently through study." And you told me, don't pick up any other instrument because I have a trumpet, I have a trombone. You said the first month really focus on tuba. And that helped me out a lot because it's really tempting to go, well, I have a trombone. I could pick that up and at least buzz, but I'm I want to play the tuba. So I need to hear that. So I started listening to videos and listening to other performers play so I can get that sound back in my ear of how does a tuba sound. And then once I got it in my lap, it it wasn't great, but I came back. I keep going to these mastery meetings at least once a week, if not twice a week, because even if I don't have a question, we might cover a topic or just talk a little bit about different things that a question will come up, and it'll it gives me guidance. It gives me something to focus on mentally, and it's like you said, it's mindset. It's how am I thinking about playing and approaching?
Yeah.
And I think I've come just a month that I've been playing. I've come from not be airballing notes and a lot of things to be able to slur up and down really connectively. I'm able to my staccato is a lot more uh, I, I want to say poignant, like just really it's clearer even in the lower register. And yeah, I think I've in 30 days, I've seen a lot of growth, and I can only exponentially grow on top of that.
Awesome. Yeah, and one of the things that everybody needs to know is we have all the guidance, we have all the support here, and the framework, but the important thing is you have to put in the work. And so far, you've been definitely one of our more dedicated members. You've been showing up to the stuff, you've been asking questions, you've been practicing. So it's definitely not a hack, right, for anything. It's not just join the program and get better. Like you have to put in the work, and you constantly been doing that and setting the example. So it's been a great journey so far, and I'm really excited to see what the next few months have in store for you. So a lot of the things that, I run across with people talking is they're like, well, Joseph, I'd rather do in person or have like just a dedicated like private teacher or something, not necessarily. not necessarily interested in the whole online scene. So, and because of that, like there's tons of private teachers, tons of in-person opportunities. What made you decide that Tua Mastery Online was right for you and that you wanted to work with me?
Well, it was a decision I had to make. Where I live, I've contacted many, quite a few tuba professors and tuba players and stuff, and I've even asked the community about bands and things. And one band already has too many tuba players, and nobody has time for that. That their schedules just don't match up with mine. And I'm an IT guy, so a lot of things I do are virtual, and I'm already used to doing virtual instruction. And I was just like, well, you know, um, I can connect with many more people, many more instructors, and many more just avenues of tuba instead of just focusing on my direct community of physical. My community can online can grow exponentially to anyone. I watch even videos of performers that are in um, across the ocean and stuff, and when they don't speak English, but I understand they're playing because I understand music. And you can be French, you can be German, you can be American, you can be Czech, you can be anywhere. And when you play the horn, we all speak the same language.
Mhm.
And I thought, online, let's give it a shot. This and I've actually grown more in the last month than I feel that I've of playing than I feel I've grown in my entire. That's probably one of the reasons why I've so easily put the tuba down,
Mhm.
because I had an opportunity to re-audition for the Marine Corps band. It's just when he would come back around 6 months later, and I was just like, you know what? I'll join the Marine Corps and I'll do something else. I don't want to try it again. But I didn't have anybody there pushing me to. I you need a 5.0 to get in, and I got a 4.99.
Hmm.
Like the next audition, I probably would have nailed it. But I I had no mentorship, nothing to really. It was myself and my self motivation, and even in college, it was self driven, and I didn't have anyone sort of rooting for me in my corner. I just had myself. And once I started going, oh, I'm not going to get better, I'm not, all that self doubt starts piling up. It's really easy to put it back in the case and just let it collect dust and stop playing. And I think this online, I get to meet people from over the meetings where we have more than just you and I get to meet people from across the country and stuff, and then hear what they're struggling with. And then I'm thinking, oh, I struggle with that too. It's really nice instead of just isolating myself to my community. I get to expand more out.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that. It's really there's this giant taboo with music and online, and I think it's it's time that we move the industry into the 21st century and just kind of understanding like there's so many different opportunities. Like if we were only ever just in person, like you and I wouldn't have the opportunity to either even connect, but even to work with each other like we have been or anybody else. I don't work with nearly anybody that's inside my current state right now. Everybody's all in different parts of the country, and then the half the programs in a different time zones. So it's really been a really cool experience to work and um, meet with each of you. So cool. What would you say? Because inside this program, like I'm not here just to give you tons of information, right? We have information inside the program. I give you information on the calls, but the goal is not to put you into information overload. It's to help you go through a transformation in your playing. You're starting here. This is the goal of where you want to be. This is what you want to accomplish, and we're working together to create the fastest path possible that fits inside of your specific lifestyle. So What would you say was the very first problem that you solved once you came inside of Tuba Mastery Online?
I think the first problem was, when am I going to have time to practice? And how am I going to take that little bit of time I have to be efficient in my practice so I actually gain something throughout that practice session? Because sometimes I have a full-time job. Um, and then that limits my time. And then I have a toddler. uh, he limits my time because, well, I want to spend time with him and I want to spend time with my family. And I'm like, okay, how do I divide my time up? And you gave perspective on that. See, you don't just give knowledge and overload and this is how you should play, this is how you shouldn't, because everyone's different. You talk about embouchure. I've talked about getting a new mouthpiece maybe, and you you didn't dissuade me from doing that. I also talked about getting another tuba that probably perform a little bit better. You didn't dissuade me against that either. You just gave me information that I could use to make a better informed decision on that. And it's not like overload. So my challenges were like, how do I practice? And of course, tuba players and all instrument players think, if I get that new reed, if I get that new mouthpiece, if I get that $12,000 instrument, I'm gonna play better. And that's the instrument, yes, will, and the mouthpiece and stuff probably will perform better for you, but it it's not going to make you a better player. It's just a tool, like a carpenter. A carpenter isn't, his hammer doesn't make him the the guy that can drive any nail. He's learned and studied and progressed, and he could take a $5 hammer and do the same work. It might be a little bit harder for him to do, and he might have to change the way he does it, but he's still going to get the job done as efficiently because he's an expert at that field. And you gave me a perspective on practice. Like, if I can squeeze in 15 minutes, if I can squeeze in 30 minutes, maybe today all I got was a 15-minute little warm up and play through one piece of music, or play through one little section of that music, then I've worked towards a goal. If I feel like I have accomplished part of that goal, then I have done something. So that's what I've been doing. When I get a chance, I pick up the horn and I play,
Yeah.
and I have
Awesome.
that goal in mind. What do I want to work on today? And if I have 15 minutes, I work on that specific item. And sometimes it's just playing in the low range, just
Mhm.
practice going low. And then next day, practice going high. you know move the needle one notch at a time.
Yeah. And that's the key. Just the consistent progress each day. Consistent little progress takes a little bit more time in the get go, but it's the progress that stays with us and that actually helps us grow. Because if we just grow too fast, too quickly, sometimes, or too much too quickly, then we're not actually building those stepping stones. And I think you touched on something really important that's not often discussed, and that's the anxiety that comes with playing and with the individualism. So you don't necessarily have people around you. So you're gaining a lot of perspective from the program, and maybe that's putting at rest some anxiety of like, oh, am I actually doing this the most efficient way possible? Is Am I wasting my time while I'm playing, that kind of stuff? And you're able to
Mhm.
get that perspective and that information, whether it comes from me or even just validation from other group members, that you're like, okay, I am on track. And sometimes I found in my own personal experience with mentors that I've had, just having that clarity, like going in, asking a question, saying, hey, here's my problem. This is what I'm doing. Am I on the right track? And just even if it's just a simple yes or no, just getting that feedback of like,
Yes.
this is what I need to be doing. So really glad you've been finding that valuable. So what would you say? Because I want to make sure, hopefully, our viewers right now are you're finding this information valuable and informative to them. But I really want to throw them a bone for checking out this video today. So, what would you say is the biggest like gold nugget, like just a simple gold nugget with a big win that you found inside the program so far that you could share with somebody that might be in your similar position, okay, who might be watching this right now?
I would have to say it's having access to you and the group. Um, there's many things that I've done, and I've reached out to you on either Messenger or into the group chat, and I've just asked a simple question, or I've said, "Hey, I want to perform this piece of music, but it's written for a brass quintet, and I want it for piano and tuba solo. Can you help me out?" And you might not respond right away because you of course have a job too, but you respond within that day and say, "Hey, this is what you're doing," or if, with the questions and things. I think having access to someone that can give me that perspective, or someone that can give me advice, or make sure, hey, give me that thumbs up that I'm actually on the right track. It's like, hey, I've been really practicing this excerpt, and every time the the dotted eighth 16th comes up, I don't, I think I'm losing time. How can I fix that? And it's a quick, it's like you're it's I feel like almost like I have 24-hour, 7-day a week access to a guide,
Hmm.
someone I can reach out to, and that's very helpful. Um, I understand timelines and everything, but you've never not gone back to me, and then I can share success moments. I can share moments of things like that, and that helps encourage me to pick up that horn again um, the next day and say, You know what? I'm I feel like I can do this. Someone else is in my corner rooting for me, and I'm gonna do this."
Yeah, awesome. And I feel like that's one of the things that's one of my favorite aspects of the program is the opportunity to have daily mentorship. So we have the twice a week calls that go around all throughout the year, and then we also have that daily access, whether it's inside the group or just the access of connecting, like you said, like we'll chat via Messenger, make sure that you're situated, make sure that you have what you need, and that also allows me to be more of like a fly on the wall for some situations as well when we utilize this to the max, because then we can make sure that it's not just regular lessons where you're preparing a whole laundry list of assignments and you're getting a grade for them. We're not doing that inside the program. Like, you have assignments if you need them, but almost everybody in here knows that, okay, this is what I want to accomplish. Now, Joseph's going to help me accomplish the what and how, or the how of that. So we work through those things together, so we're taking all the different puzzle pieces, and we're putting the puzzle together, and then that's allowing you the freedom, and our other members the freedom to do what they want to with their playing. And that's it's one of the things that I feel like truly makes the program different is, yeah, we're not necessarily doing one on one, but we have consistency throughout the entire life of you being inside the program. I'm here for you. We have that daily access, and it's not like, let's say we both get busy one day, right? And we have to cancel some lessons or something like that. And then we go for a long time. You're not getting any feedback. But, if you're ever absent from a call, then you have the recording. You can ask me questions daily. You can ask the group questions daily and get feedback from all of our members. And I really feel like that's something special inside of the group that hasn't even been utilized to its max yet. So with this, right, and I like to share this with everybody as far as this experience can go, because we spend so much time investing into our playing, whether monetary or time, right? So we spend all this time invested in our playing, and hopefully we want to yield good results out of it. We want to be able to play confidently at concerts. We want to be able to give solid performances. We want to feel comfortable with what we're doing. But, like you said, like, you have a full-time job that's not music related. You have a toddler, you have a wife. Like, all of those things are really important, and those things need to be taken care of and enjoyed and appreciated. And we want to still be able to move forward with our hobbies or other experiences, but we want to do it in a way that still lets us touch on the important things in life. Even, not saying tuba playing is not important, but we want to make sure we find that balance. And how would you say that, because of getting back consistently into playing and because you have a good routine and you have this mentorship, how would you say that your life has changed since joining Tuba Mastery Online?
The change I see is I don't know, my joy for music has returned quite significantly. I my son, who's 2, is very interested in it, even on days that I'm like, "Oh, I really don't wanna practice," and, stuff. He calls it big boom. He calls all music big boom, and it's really cute. So, he goes over to my tuba case and starts, unlocking the latches and trying to open it up and stuff, and he's like, "Daddy, big boom," and then him and I will sit in my computer chair and literally watch tuba playing. Where there's this one called Epic Low Brass that he really likes because he likes all the big low sound. And then we watch piano playing, we watch music. So I'm nurturing growth and stuff in him, which is also in turn nurturing it in me. And my wife even sings and plays a few instruments as well, and she she's enjoying him and his love for music because we're like, oh, what he's going to be in music. What is he going to play? You know, is it's up in the air, and we'll never know until he decides, hey, I want to play this, I want to play this. But he has options, and I think the more I practice, the more I play, the more focus. I think music is very important for an individual. I think it really helps with growth and stuff. I know it's done that. It's made a lot of difference in my life. It gives me calmness. It gives me peace when I'm playing. I'm playing the instrument. I'm not thinking about work, or I'm not thinking about all the other things that go on in life, like bills and things like that. I'm thinking about play this excerpt, uh, perform it. Then I started even recording myself playing and putting it out there on the internet, knowing that eventually it's not the greatest yet. It'll probably never be up to the standard I want it to be, just because we're all a little bit of a perfectionist in our own minds. But uh, your your mastery online has given me that confidence to say, you know what, press record, just play and put it out there. I plan to do something in the group as well with maybe a live practice session and see what everyone else does. We've talked about that. And I think I don't know, it's encouraged me to keep progressing, keep getting better, keep just moving forward, um, one notch at a time, like the ladder method. I use that in my life as well. Like, I might not be the best I can today, but if I move that metronome one notch forward or one notch backwards, depending on how slow or fast I want to play life, then it'll get better.
Yeah.
I'll see
No,
progress.
yeah, definitely, and I really appreciated you sharing that with your son. I think it's really important that that we're still aiding and abetting and providing that musical experience, that music and movement for them at that young age is so key to a lot of developmental stuff. So I really am thankful that you shared that. That was really encouraging, inspiring. Um, so ultimately, people have to make a decision, and that decision is to join Tuba Mastery Online or to not, right?
Mhm.
And if they, they book the chat with me and we go through and we find out we're a good fit to work with each other, then they have to make that decision. Or some of them have to just make the decision to get off the fence and just to book a tuba chat, right? Just to have that conversation, just to
Yeah.
meet me and get out of their comfort zone, hop on Zoom and have a chat. So, where do you think you would be in your playing right now if you didn't take action and join Tuba Mastery Online?
I think I already had put my tuba in the shop to get cleaned up because I wanted to play.
Mhm.
But I think once I gotten it, it was taking so long to get back because there was so much work to do to it because it sat in a not ideal place in a case for years without being touched. And as that went on, if I didn't have the guidance and the I don't know, just the encouragement when I got it back, I would have probably played a handful of times, said, "Oh, I can't play this anymore. I'm not that good," and it would be upstairs in the attic in a case doing the same thing it did for many years. I don't think I don't think I would have continued to pick it up every day because I didn't have I would have just been self-motivating myself, and I tend to sabotage that sometimes. And I think the hardest part was getting the first Zoom intro meeting together.
Mhm.
That was hard. It was just like I'm gonna meet someone that I don't know. It's nerve wracking. It's a little like, and then you got that online thing. You're like, is this actually gonna be effective? But after talking and meeting with you, I was just like, hey, let's do this thing.
Yeah. And I remember our first call. It was a great call. It was one of my favorites so far, and it just is just I love hearing, even if we don't move forward, like that matters to me. But at the end of the day, like what I really enjoy with those chats are just connecting with Tua players all around the world. I've met with some over in Europe. I've met with some over in Australia. I've met with people all across the country, and it's been really cool to hear people's stories and see, maybe I can help them, maybe I can't, and that's okay. But kind of talking on that about the chats, right? So if anybody is watching this right now, maybe they're on the fence, maybe they're kind of feeling some of those nerves that you were feeling about booking that initial free to a chat. So if anybody's on the fence of booking a chat, what would you say to them?
I would say go ahead, do it. It's what is it? Wayne Gretzky says you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right?
Hmm.
And then I say every day I don't practice is a missed opportunity to learn something new. And I wouldn't have came to that conclusion without just taking everything in life as a leap of faith, like remember the first time you stepped behind the wheel, got behind the wheel of a car and your parent or guardian or someone was sitting there next to you and said, okay, put it in gear and let's go. And I remember it being nerve wracking. And then as I drove around town, the person with me was just like, okay, you're going to make a right up here. And I was looking at it, and the right was the freeway. And I was just so nervous. But now look at it. I drive wherever, all over, and I don't even think twice about how I'm doing it because everything's so practiced and so, but get over the nerves. And the only way to do that is get on stage and perform or book that meeting or do that. And it's just a talk. And you're a nice guy. You're easy to talk to. So right off the bat, I was just sweating bullets, going, okay, click the Zoom meeting, okay, just nervous meeting someone, and I was just like, you even told me I can turn my camera off if I wanted to, which made me feel better. So I didn't have to feel like, oh, okay, you don't have to see my messy hair or whatever. But yeah, just go ahead and do book the chat.
Yeah. No, I definitely, agree. Like the whole model, it's chill and it's just to see if we're a good fit for each other, right? So one of the things that
Hmm.
I find really important is I don't want to be a mentor to everybody. I don't. I want to be a mentor to the people the students that are right fit for me and also that are right fit for what I can offer through the program, right? So I know I'm not the best fit for everybody, but I do know that I'm a great fit for the right person. So, and we can only ever figure that out through the chats. So, um, awesome, Samuel. I really appreciate you taking the time with us today for this call. Is there anything else you would like to share with any of our viewers for this evening?
Um, just even if you decide to or to not to, just pick that horn up, play it, and play it to the best of your ability for that day. Because not every day is going to be the same, and not every week's going to be the same. Sometimes you'll feel a lot of growth. Sometimes you'll feel very, very minute growth, but growth is growth. And if you're sitting there and you're playing for 15 minutes and you don't feel like you're progressing anything, it's okay. Put the horn down a for a little bit. Come back to it later on that day. But the key to it is pick the horn up. Put some air through it. Even 5 minutes is more than nothing.
Definitely. Yeah, even five, that's important. Even 5 minutes is more than nothing. That'll help you move the needle forward more than anything else. Consistent set of 5 minutes. So cool. Well, congratulations if you made it this far in the video. You have finished the video. You've completed the interview. Hope you found value in this today. If you are, maybe you were on the fence about booking a call or talking to me about the program or any of that. If you're interested in learning more about how I could serve you and help you take your tool playing to the next level, somewhere around here, I don't know, above, left, right, below there should be a link where you can book her to a chat, or even maybe learn more ways of how I can help you reach your goals as a tool player. So check that out. I promise I don't bite. As Samuel says, I'm a pretty chill person. Just want to make sure that we're a right fit to work with each other and see if we can move forward together. So thank you again, Samuel, for being here this evening. I really appreciate it. I'm really proud of the progress you've made just in these 60 days alone, and I'm really excited to see where your tool playing progresses in 2024.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Happy New
take care.
Year.
Happy New Year.